please.
Yes. President Bill Smith.
Here.
Vice President Carrie Nicholson.
Here.
Secretary Lisa Middleton.
Here.
Treasurer Larry Williams.
Here.
Trustee Brent Dawson.
Here.
Trustee Shauna Gamble. Here. Trustee Richard Lindsay.
We will observe our customary moment of silence. Okay. Brent, can you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I entertain a motion for approval of the agenda?
So move.
Support.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Members of the audience may address the board on agenda items only. Seeing no one, we will go on to special presentation. Albion College's Maymester at Marshall Public School. Do you want to read that?
Karen?
Hi, Karen Holman. Seriously, for Center for Teacher Development, thank you. I'm gonna pass this out, but our Waymaster students are in their purple and gold t-shirts. And they will be giving us a little snippet about their projects as well as working on display showcase learning fair night. And we have 20 students, as you can see, the biggest group that we've had in, a couple of years. So it's wonderful. Our students are in all buildings again, which is fabulous. So we have the pre-K, which is that one back there, all the way up to 12th grade. Can't thank the teachers enough for the support that they've given us, not only for our Maymester students, but for all our field placements and student teachers as well. But this is very special because they have 3 long but short weeks ahead of them in the day in the life of the teacher. So, with that, our first one is Emily, and then we're just gonna go in order from top to bottom. Yes.
Could I ask you to introduce the other faculty?
Oh, of course, I'm so sorry.
Please stand up, please.
They can actually introduce themselves. How about that, Ms. Ratty?
I know. So my name is Betty Opotori-Cola, faculty in education department, and I am teaching the elementary section this year. So thank you again for giving us the opportunity to showcase and to share with you what our students will be doing and have been doing for the last 5 months. So, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
And I'm Sue Ellen Hickey, and I'm teaching the second grade.
Thank you.
There's fine. Where are
Hello, my name is Emily Caleb, and I'm at the Shamrock Center with Mrs. Barnes, and it's a big kindergarten class. And my unit plan is entitled From Curious Caterpillars to Brilliant Butterflies of the Kindergarten. And we're going to be watching a caterpillar grow into a dolphin, into a butterfly in our classroom. We're going to go to Eastern Gallery and create butterfly portraits, and we're going to nature walks, a lot of arts and crafts and science-based activities. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm really appreciative of the opportunity.
We'll give you all applause at the end.
Hi, I'm Becca Enders. I'm with Mrs. Burt in her special ed classroom over at Gordon. My unit plan is called I Dream You Dream We All Dream Vacation. And over the month, they will be building their own vacation, creating an itinerary and a complete budget full of prices of hotel to their flight that they're going to be going to. So it's like totally realistic, except for they don't get to actually go on it. And well, mine's not as long as everyone else's. Thank you so much for allowing me to go into the school and do this. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. For real. All right. No, it's good. I'm not. Oh, I'm an improv. I'm dead. All right. How's it going? My name is Emily Kinser. Elementary with Mary Douglas's 5th grade class. I've been with them since January. I absolutely love it. They're super energetic, super awesome. So I am really eager to do a poetry unit. So my unit is called Stitching Together in Poetry. And it's really project-based, so they're doing a lot of stuff. I'm going to just kind of give you the gist, like what I'm going to be presenting, but they're actually making a poetry quilt. So each student will have a square on the quilt, and they will write, like in fabric marker, a poem that they write. And then we're bringing in a seamstress, and she's going to help us sew it together, and then that's going to be like my cultivating project. They're also doing a word garden for their outdoor classroom, and they each get to choose a word that they will then play. We're also doing poetry journals and poetry Fridays. So for the 3 Fridays that I'm here, they're going to be reciting their own poetry or a poem that they really like by someone else that wrote it. So yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff, but that's basically like the really big thing. And I really appreciate you, coming here and letting me speak and giving me this wonderful opportunity. Yeah.
Wow, that's a hard one to follow up So my name is Richard Emmer, and I'm thrilled to be working with Jonathan Nick at Gordon Elementary and his 1st grade class. And for my unit title is called Soaring Over Boundaries and Learning About Myself and Community. And then they will be covering life cycles and realistic fiction writing, which incorporates art, movement, science, and ELA with the principal focus on the whole child. And I really like this unit because we have a lot of fun things that we get to do. We get to go to the Albany College field trip, Albany College Nature Center field trip. We get to work with animals. We get to make stories created by the students, and one of my favorite things we get to do is personalized kites. That's my unit.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity as well.
Coach.
Hi, I'm Lyda McRoberts. I'm at Gordon Elementary School with Mrs. Shannon Robinson. So she has a 1st grade class, and I've been lucky enough to be able to go in there and work with her kids. My unit is called Exploring the World Around Us. So my unit focuses heavily on social studies with some English integrated into it. The beginning of the unit starts with community. We're going to the police department for a field trip on this Wednesday. And then it's going to follow into the natural resources we have around us. And then it's going to end with mapping, and the big project at the end of the unit is that all the kids will be able to make a map, or not a map, a diagram based off of the map of their background. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm ready to learn a lot. I'm excited. I have Monday. So good.
Howdy y'all. I'm Kira Bush. I have the absolute honor and delight of working with Miss Erin Geyer at Harrington Elementary School with her class of 30 kindergartners. We are doing a unit called Growing Up Together, Learning Inside and Out. And this is where we are interacting with the kindergartners to help them just widen their worldview, have empathy for others, their community, and their responsibility. And how they're doing this is each every one of them has a sprout that I have grown for like seeds and flowers that they're going to be able to take care of, record its height and measurement, and mark the weather days that are happening for it. They are going to have a playground pollution cleanup where for recess they're all going to go out with bags and tongs and just pick up the playground of just the absolutely horrible debris that children live out there. And then for our final wrap-up, they're going to be learning about Michigan native species from our very own White House Nature Center and be able to not only see these species growing in the wild, but learn how important they are to our Michigan community. And when they are finished growing their flowers and they have bloom, In order to participate and be mindful of their school community, they're all going to plant them in the small garden in front of Harrington. I am just blown away by the kids every single day, and teaching has always been my dream, so you guys make it possible. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Morgan Stewart, and I am also working with Erin Geyer at Harrington Elementary with her wonderful kindergartners. My unit plan is actually Roar, the Dinosaurs Are Back, which is recreating dinosaur communities and digging up fossils. So with this unit plan, students are actually going to go over a bunch of information related from what dinosaurs are to how they formed and how they went extinct. They will be also creating their own dinosaur models using paper plates and construction paper out of 3 of the main dinosaurs that were very common. They will then be transitioning to talk about fossils, and so they'll get the opportunity to dig up the fossils using a sensory table and lots of sand. And they will also be able to, at the end, make their own fossil imprints using clay as like their rocks and like having like a mold actual creation of it so they can keep, but also to present at the final showcase to see kind of what they did. And with those fossil imprints, they'll be able to go through and describe what dinosaur that actually once was. So I'm really excited to bring back dinosaurs into the classroom, especially because it isn't an exact topic that's really covered in classrooms. And I thank you all for being great and giving us this opportunity to do this. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anna Sharon. I'm very excited to be working with Miss Lee's class at His Elementary. I will be teaching a poetry and self-awareness unit called The Card of Poetry in You. And during this unit plan, they'll be creating 10 to 15 of their own original poems about any part of them that they think that makes them the best. And the end project, they will be traveling to Albany College's Product Theater to perform for their parents at an open mic performance. And they get to publish these poems however they want, they get to create it, and it will be showcased at the lesson. And I'm really excited to see where this goes, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity.
So my name is Jocelyn Eckhardt, and I'm also at Hughes in the 5th grade. I'm working with Mrs. William. And my class is actually going to be joining Bree's class on our field trip. My unit is just a little different though. So my unit is Creativity Cafe, Perspective and Inclusion through Writing. So my students are going to be learning about poetry, short stories, and skits, and how the different forms of literature affect the way we interact with them. And so they're going to be reading the types of literature, and then also they're going to have the chance to write all 3. And then their big project is going to be, they're going to choose, this Friday they're going to choose which type of literature they want to perform at the open mic performance in Albion. And they're going to work on that throughout the 3 weeks. So I'm very excited to share different types of literature and see what this is. Thank you for this awesome opportunity.
Well, I want to start by saying thank you guys for the wonderful opportunity. I am also at Hughes Elementary, and I am honored to be working with Chad Waker in his 5th grade physical education and health classroom. The title of my unit plan is Let's Groove Together, Mind and Body Awareness. And basically, my unit plan has 3 main components. The first 2 are 2 types of dances centered around different cultures. So the first that we actually did today, and it went really well, is called Tininkling. It's a really funny word, but it actually is originally a Filipino dance, and it involves pool noodles and all this different stuff. So they got to do that today. We're going to make a video of the group that makes the best routine, because actually in the Philippines, it is a competition. So that's the first section. The next week, then we're gonna do some American line dances, and we are actually having my uncle, Elijah, Jr. come in, and he's gonna help facilitate how to do some different line dances, and we're also gonna introduce that. And then, intertwined in that, every Friday is Chad's Health Day. So we're gonna start talking about some components of mental health, and we're gonna talk about music therapy. And we are actually planning a day where we're gonna have a drum circle happen, so the students can experience what it feels like to be in a music therapy session.
Hi, my name is Adriana Ladoni, and I am working with Sarita Sheephound in Gordon, Hughes, and Walters, and I am working with the fourth grade classes of all three elementary schools. My title of my unit is Imaginary Music Through Technology. So my kids picked out their favorite song, and they're making a trifold brochure about the emotional and cultural relevance of the song to them and to the community and the people that listen to it. We're also learning about different cultural relevance of music across different continents and talking about the emotional support that music can have within communities. Thank you for your opportunity.
So I'm Victoria Dulock, and I'm super excited. I get to work with Miss Megan Witz at Walden Elementary with her kindergarten class. I had the opportunity to move them last semester and now this semester, so I really love those kiddos. My unit is called Let Us Write, Read, and Fly Together, and it's focusing on science and English. And we'll be looking at the life cycle of a butterfly. So we'll figure out why the very hungry caterpillar is so hungry, and we'll also be making their own booklets about butterflies because they really love writing their own books. And we'll be going to Kids and Stuff museums so they can learn about the community and also nature, and how nature is really a community. And then we'll come back to their classroom and make our own tree community where they get to make their own insects and animals and show how they play around on the tree. I'm super excited for this. I can't tell you how excited I am. So thank you so much for letting me do this. Means a lot.
My name is Amanda Skinner. I'm working with Miss Tobin at Walters, 5th grade. My unit is called Growth and Revolution, and they're going to be learning about the 12 major events that led to the American Revolution. And today they actually went on a regular trip to Boston. And so that's how we started the unit. They're going to do a lot of hands-on projects. They're going to be doing an illustrated timeline, a STEM project. They're going to be doing taxes, so learning about taxes, about their representation. And then they're also going to be doing a role playing, a lot of interacting that they'll be doing in the unit. I'm also very excited to be there.
Hello, my name is Will Anderson, and I'm working at Walters Elementary School with Miss Laura Arnold. My unit is, the Poetic Ensemble, developing literacy techniques through music. So I'm going to be having the students learn about poetry, and then also they're going to create a poem about music, whether it's any very different kinds of forms of poems. And then they're also going to be creating an instrument where they're going to be able to play it, so like a guitar, piano, drums, maracas, and then they're going to be creating that poem into a song. So they're going to be able to, like on the last day, we're all going to kind of perform our poems with our instruments to the best they can, as they will be actual instruments, little makeshift instruments. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm very excited, as everybody here for Master is. So thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Paige Rich, and I'm placed in Marshall Middle School with Miss Barrel's 6th grade classroom. The title of my unit is Special Delivery South America, from the first people of South America to modern day. We're learning about the geography, climate, natural resources, everything that South America is made up of. We actually have a guest speaker coming in to talk to us about his first person point of view living in South America, so it'll give the students a great opportunity to learn more than just what they researched online or done their homework or that kind of stuff. And then my big project at the end is they're gonna make like a diorama of South America, and they get to use like salt dough to form it out, like make their own shapes, and then they'll get to label it through the geography. They also use like food coloring to like color the different regions with the climate and all that. And then at the top of like, it'll be in a pizza box, and at the top of it they'll have just fun facts that they find interesting about South America or what they have researched. And I thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited to see where it takes me and how I grow with it.
Hey, I'm Jacob Swift. I'm super stoked to work with Ms. Regan to talk about Ms. Lights Up in her 6th grade reading class. So, yeah, my unit's titled, the actual name of it is Times of Change, Critical Studies of Novel Holes. So I gave out the books today, and we're doing 3 main parts of it. We're going to finish reading the book in 9 days, which is kind of scary to think about. We're going to make a diagram of their favorite scene and how it relates to the 4 major themes of the book: friendship, courage, belonging, and sense of self. And then we're going to do a mason jar, and that's going to show how environments change over time. That's also going to be a main part. We touch on environmental change and like what are the main factors of environmental change. And thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Glenn. I'm supposed to be working with Mrs. Burgard at the Marshall High School and in her 10th grade English class. My unit is titled Pushing Boundaries with Diverse Poets, and during May we'll be exploring the wide world of poetry while taking a field trip to the Nature Center, where the students will be able to write these more two-line poems that they will then share with us during their showcase. I'm really thrilled for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Adolfo Rodriguez, and I am working in Mrs. Carroll's grade algebra class in Marshall High School. The title of my unit plan is A Space for Classrooms Creating a Problem-Solving Community. And in this unit, we will be traveling to Elding College, where I will create an escape room for the students to go through, where I will utilize all the algebra that they've gone over thus far. And throughout the entire unit, they will be working together to create like group work and really become a community and just learn how to use teamwork as much as possible, where at the very end, they will be creating their very own escape room. So we're all very excited about it. I'm excited about it. And thank you so much for the support and this opportunity. I mean, it means the world to all of us. So thank you.
Guys, I'm Abigail Adams. I'm also a little I'm Abigail Adams, and I am working with Josh Adams at the Marshall Opportunity High School. So what I am doing for my unit, it's called Aiming for Equations or Self and Others. So I came up with this idea monetarily once a week, and in order to do an elementary class, I wanted to do something very hands-on, practical, and something that is a little bit different for my students at the alternative opportunity high school. And so what we're going to do, we're going to make our own dart cases. We're going to be creating our own magazine about the community of darts, how it affects people, businesses, and how it can actually become a profession or a sport. We will also be looking at the history of darts. We are going to hold a dart tournament in which they have all signed the safety agreement. And we will be doing awards at the very end. My students will be very excited, and so am I. So I really appreciate this opportunity, guys.
Still tip or how?
Hello, my name is Asante Allen. I'm at the Marshall Opportunity High School. I am working with Jason Raditz, and my lesson is called Steaming Salmon Through History. So my students will be working with salmon and understanding the history and everything about salmon, and understanding the whole concept of wild salmon versus farming salmon. And they'll go through a whole lesson like that, and they'll do a cook-up actually, to see who can cook the best salmon. They'll even do a recycling project.
Those little things you grow? The little salmons you're growing?
Yeah, we're not gonna cook those now. But we'll also have to do a recycling project because our environment is affected by pollution, and salmon are part of the fish that are dying off. And one of the big things that I want them to get out of all of this is ways to help their community, especially knowing that some people in the Michigan area, as I come here, and I've seen that they are in food deserts, and teaching my students how to help their community, even though they don't have the perfect sources, but there's sources in there so that they can have sources to eat the correct food and healthy food. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, learned a lot. Any questions?
Are you guys in the classrooms on different days of the week, or do you all go to your classrooms on the same day?
All day, every day.
Every day, all day.
It's every meeting.
And today was the first day, so it's been a long day.
Welcome to teaching.
Can't wait.
Are you gonna do the culminating presentations in a different venue than where you've been at for the last number of years? There's a lot of.
It is, and no, we are actually still at the, atrium this year.
Yeah,
so,
it's good.
Yeah, and
Can't wait to see
we'll
it.
fill it up for sure. So it's out. And just one last thing, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with what our May Master program is and what Swell and Betty can explain that a little more too. But the students have all talked about various projects and field trips, and Deshante was doing a cook-off with salmon and things like that. All of those things that our students are going to need for those 3 weeks are bought through my department, the Shermer Center. So they have to do a budget, they handed it in to me, and all the supplies were bought, some are still going to be bought in the next couple of weeks for the students. So the Shermer Center pays for it all, and for the majority of the things that are left over are left with the classroom teacher. So like Jacob's books. 26 books, right? 32 something old books. Will stay in the classroom for future use.
Anything else?
So it's a wonderful program. You guys add so much value to our classrooms. I know you get a lot from us, but we get a lot from you. So I want to thank you all for making this contribution and also taking the time to do it well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you again. Okay, we're going to move on to board topics. A, district communication and Facebook. Randy?
Yep, we brought in Bluefish and Ryan Traver, and he's working with us on our communication plan. We segued from the board Facebook page, and we said we were going to adopt that into the district Facebook page. We want to make sure that we know that there's a couple of us that have authority to go ahead and post. So if you guys have any interest in posting something or whatever, be sure you run it through me. Bill should probably be aware of it, but run it through me, and Becky and I will help you get that posted. Ryan's going to be in charge of managing that and dealing with those issues so we can hold him accountable as we go through and making sure that that's accessible to our constituents. And we're going to review it again when we get into our summertime planning for our meetings and talk a little bit about how effective we are and whether or not we're moving that forward the way we want it to be. So just wanted to put that down there for everybody.
Questions?
Any questions?
So he's also working on the other, like the elementary school pages, and some of those have.
Yeah, he's supporting that, and he's contacting me, but really the buildings at the building level have control of that.
but if there's something that they need or something we want to draw off of that particular page and bring it into the district, we can do that through line.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, move on to B, Marshall High School Administrative Oversights.
So as you're aware, announcement went out on the 22nd of April indicating that Mr. Hutchins has departed the district. People have been asking what our plan is. Well, our plan is, right now I'm working out of the high school from 9 to 3, coming in the morning time to my office to touch base before that, and staying in my office from 3 to 5. And then if we have superintendent business, it gets scheduled out of the office at the high school whenever possible. And other than that, my schedule is trying to keep it at a minimum of the time that I'm drawing out of the district for other business. We have 2 really great lead teachers that have gone through. One already has their certification in ed leadership as a master's, and the other one is just completed. I don't think he's had it awarded to him, but he did his internship at the high school, and both of them are spending their planning time with us. They get reimbursed for the loss of their planning time, but when we need them to come out and do that, there are times where I might ask them to take a full day if I'd already been scheduled to be out of the district, and we pay them, get a sub for them so they get that coverage. But that, I just want to say, both Christine Davis and Matt Siebert are both really stand-up folks, and they're doing whatever's necessary because they want to get as much experience as they can administratively. And getting a sub for them actually pretty much creates more work for them because they have to do the lesson plans and organize their day anyways. But they're really doing a nice job with that. Greg Tatro and I, as the assistant principal, are working together to split up responsibilities. I'm pretty much taking what Scott's responsibilities are as a principal. So I'm already knee-deep in commencement and all the other activities that are going on, and I'm sure we'll be able to pull off the year. We posted, or are posting, I've seen a draft of the posting. Then we'll be looking at hiring. The process is going to be involved with having a committee and so forth and looking at candidates. So stay tuned for more information on that. You guys have any questions on that?
What's the goal date to try and hire someone by?
Well, it would be as soon as possible, but really, candidates most likely will be available as they finish their current position and come on board after June. But what we normally would do is expect them to come in as early as July, especially since the school begins on August 21st this year.
Any other questions?
Counselors are doing a great job as a team. They're working with us and Greg. Don Beck's over there offering support as a director of curriculum, instructional, and scheduling for next year. We're going to bring in our department chairs to help us decide on which teacher to teach in which course as we go through in their particular discipline, and it will be a full team effort as we move forward for next year.
Okay, we're going to move on to action items financial. We have approved setting 2019-20 school lunch prices, award bid for secure vestibule remodeling, and award bid for security window film project. Can you guys background on those?
I'll read the background. Well, Becky's chipping away there. Kimberly's on vacation. I know she's gone for the week. Section 205, the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act of 2010 requires us to evaluate increases in the paid lunch prices of the 2019-20 school year. Part of this process involves comparing federal reimbursements for meals with the cost of providing those meals. Typically, the school districts have to increase prices when the charges for paid lunches are less than federal reimbursements for free lunch. However, Section 760 of the Consolidated Appropriations Act 2019, Public Law 116-6, provides that school food authorities with a positive or zero balance in its nonprofit food service account as of December 31st, 2018, are exempt from the price increase requirements found at 7 CFR 210-14E for the 2019-20 school year. Based on our positive food service account balance, we are recommending meal prices remain the same for the 2019-2020 school year. Below are what the paid lunch prices will be provided. The recommendation is approved. You'll see your chart. As was stated, we will keep the amounts the same for 2 years running, which is good.
Absolutely.
And it's good that we have a positive fund balance. B, Marshall Public Schools accepted bids for its 8 schools to receive modifications to their entries to provide a safe and secure entrance. This work will encompass control in all cases, new doors and glazing in some cases, and new exterior entrances in one location. Bid opening was held Tuesday, April 30th, 2019 at 1 p.m. in the central office. 5 proposals were submitted. It is the Facilities Director Brad Shedd's recommendation that Marshall Public Schools award bids for secure vestibules remodeling as follows. Moore Trosper for general trades, Edwards Glass for aluminum glass and glazing, Union Electric for electrical. And then item C, Marshall Public Schools accepted bids to provide additional security in Marshall Public Schools locations through the application of protective window film to all exterior facility entrances, as well as all exterior windows at each of the buildings. Bid opening was held Tuesday, April 16, 2019 at 1 p.m. in central office. 2 proposals were submitted. It is Facilities Director Brad Shedd's recommendation that Marshall Public Schools award the bid to West Michigan Glass Coatings for the security window film project. It is a recommendation of the superintendent that action items financially be approved as presented.
Looking for a motion.
So,
Support.
Support. Discussion. So it's great to see the prices for lunches and breakfast are all going to stay the same.
Was the vestibule in the glass both from the grant that you received
Yes.
as a school safety?
Yes, and remember we have a 25% match that goes into that for the total project. It does say that there's one exterior vestibule being built because we're primarily doing the renovations on the interior with the vestibules and the way our buildings are set up. Every building gets touched up.
And if I'm looking at the 2 bids, one is over, the other one is under, and the net ends up being just a little bit over budget, if I read it correctly, right? Or was it under?
For which one?
For the 2 projects.
Oh yeah, I think overall it's going to be a wash and it'll be solid.
Because Todd always comes in way under budgets.
Yeah, so those were against our estimators budgets that we put together.
Okay.
Actually, overall, we're within, should be a little bit under your guys' budget.
Okay.
Obviously, you've got a grant in your match, and we can't go over that.
Gotcha. Okay.
It won't go over that.
Any other questions?
Is that work gonna take place this summer then, before the
Yes.
start in August?
Yep, our closeout date is August 19th. It may have some flexibility because it took us a while to get bids with the glazing, the glass glazing. We believe that if there is some extended time, it'll be well within the window for us to get reimbursement. Because this grant, the $2 million grant, or $1 million grant, $1 million grant. Is, yeah, $1 million too. $1 million grant is predicated on us getting all reimbursements. We pay first, we get reimbursed, and we have until the 30th of September to submit all requests on reimbursement. So we're in a tight timeline.
Last question, the glazing on the windows, is that something that's like permanent, or does it have to be reapplied at some point, or?
Yeah, the glazing we're talking about is glazed glass that goes in. It's kind of like, I don't know, what do you call it, Tetra? No.
We're actually putting film on the glass, which then reinforces the glass. It will not have to be changed. It doesn't get faded or hurt over time. We went with the 3M product, which that's why we only had 2 bids on that, because we were very specific about the product that was picked. And I know Randy and probably Brad have seen videos, and you can go online and kind of see those. So it reinforces the glass to deter people from And what we decided, because of the tight time frame, instead of ordering the new glass that we're putting in to be special reinforced, we're using the same film product on that, so that we can get our glazing. Randy's point on the time frame, our bigger challenge on the time frame is all the door hardware, which has some technology and stuff that goes with it, so, but we'll make sure that it's done in time for you guys to get reimbursed.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Start with Richard.
Yep.
Yes.
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 Yes. You guys are good to go? Okay, we'll move on to action item personnel, approve administrator contract extensions. You want to give us background, Randy?
Superintendent Davis recently completed evaluations on all administrators. One thing that's outstanding is domain one, which has to do with 2 performance issues, which is student growth measured by state standardized assessments, and item B, 1B, which is also student growth data, which is measured by internal research-based assessments. And so once we get those compiled, we'll finish out the assessment. But I'm able to tell you through the other 4 domains that all of these are recommended for renewal for next year. There are, the majority of them are 2-year renewals, 2 of them are 1-year renewals. And so it's my recommendation contract extensions were determined based on evaluation results. And I would recommend these be approved as presented.
I entertain a motion, please.
Support.
Discussion.
When you do a 2-year recommendation, do you do another one next year that would put them out 2 years again, or 1 year out again, or do you wait 2 years?
1 year out again.
Right, so you review all of them every year?
Yeah,
and
except
another 1 or 2 years from there.
Yes, Brent, except last year I did a baseline. We didn't talk about recommendation because it was a new instrument. We wanted to go through that process. Everybody baselined at 1 year. Now they're all starting at the same mark. Any other questions, yeah?
So, you sort of mentioned, like what the evaluation rubric is. So like, does it mean something if there's only a 1 year, but is it only recommended someone to 1 year?
It depends. I normally with a new hire, that new to the district and so forth, I don't do multi-year contracts. I wait until we get through that process before we see the performance is stable where we want it to be. There's also a reason to have 1 year is if someone's on an individual development plan. And that's based on coaching and support to have them continue to develop to the levels that we're looking for.
Any other questions? Start with Shauna.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to move on to public comments. Anybody can speak. We ask that you keep your comments up to under 3 minutes.
Green sheet too.
And the green sheet filled out as well, please.
Thank you for the chance to speak. My name is Keith Van Holland, and I'm a parent of a senior in the Marshall High School. And I'm here because I'm very upset. My son's been a proud student of this school district for almost his entire education. And within the last couple of weeks, this high school made a decision to show to all of the kids required a movie called The Common Thread. Except there was no common thread about it. My son came home after school to tell me about what he had been forced to watch. And his explanation was something like this: Dad, we had to watch a movie in school today. The whole school had to watch it, we had a choice. And basically what they told us is that all of the problems with Albion and that caused the Albion schools to close were Marshall's fault. It's because we're a bunch of greedy, rich white people who wanted Albion's money. We're a bunch of racists, and we're just horrible people, and we all ought to feel bad about ourselves, and we owe Albion this huge debt for what we've done. And I'm curious, first, who approved this? I mean, who screamed this? Who watched this and thought this was a good idea to show this to the kid? He's been proud of his education his whole life. He's been proud to be from Marshall, proud to go to Marshall schools. And now he feels like he's supposed to feel guilty about it. I wonder if you sent a questionnaire home to parents and said, we're about to show your kids a movie that's going to tell them that they're greedy, rich, racist white people and that they are to blame for all the Albion's problems that have happened over the years. How many of the parents would have signed off and said, yeah, I want my kids to see that? And I also wonder what's going to be done to address this with the kids. Are these kids now just going to graduate? Is he going to graduate in a couple of weeks? We're what, a month maybe from graduation, barely? And in a couple of weeks, does he graduate school and does he go off into the world now having to feel guilty about the fact that he was raised in Marshall, went to Marshall schools, and somehow that he has some undue privilege to him? And he came from a working class, middle class family. We weren't rich, we're still not rich. And he never thought twice about who he was friends with. He had friends that was never, his friends were, who were friends were never based on race or ethnic origin, any of that. He was friends with who he wanted to be friends with. And now he has to feel like this is guilty. And I wanted to know if I was reading this differently than most parents. So I reached out to other parents that I knew who were friends with his and said, can you ask your kids what they thought about this? And the responses were overwhelmingly exactly the same. My kid felt that they were told that they should feel guilty about who they are. And so this is a resilience project. This is supposed to somehow bring Albion and Marshall kids together. Instead, you've got friendships. Kids have been friends for years, now it's strained. They never had a strain before. The friendships were great. Now there's this tension between the kids. And I heard that from multiple other parents that I spoke with before I came here. And I really hesitated to come because part of me said, well, it's another month and he graduates and that's it. But it's not it, because you have a whole high school full of kids who are forced to watch it. And I understand there's going to be a public screening so that we as parents can come and see this presentation here in the next couple of weeks. But that doesn't fix it. There's a problem that was created, and how are you going to fix it? Who's taking responsibility for making the decision to show this to the kids? And is there going to be any kind of a counterpoint offered? Is there going to be people who were born and raised in Marshall in years past, who are my age or older, who can sit back and tell how they saw it? Because a lot of the parents that I talked to were like, I grew up in this time that's talked about in this movie. And that wasn't me.
Can I stay with one of your comments?
Yeah. So I'm just here to express my frustration as a parent, to say if you're going to show something that's supposed to bring people together, I would hope that this board would screen it, that somehow there would be some oversight, and the school wouldn't just show something like that without there being some involvement in some way to make sure that it's actually something that brings our kids together and unites these communities and not divides them. And I would appreciate the board looking into what can be done to fix the problem that this is created. Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment? Okay, board member comments for which no action may be taken at this meeting.
Yes, I'd like to make a statement too. I believe that a child's education needs to include diversity, culture, cultural issues, differences, and in history that includes the civil rights movement and even how racism has affected this country. The more a child understands these issues and our differences, that child will see that we're more similar than different. And so I understand all the relevance of those issues. However, I agree with Mr. Den Hollander. We need to leave the teaching to our educators. I do not believe the Common Thread video was effective or appropriate in our high school. I did not believe it should have been presented to our students that way. I was disappointed in the decision that it was and saddened at the negative effect it's had on several of our students.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'll make one. So, I just want to first of all say I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you, having the courage to come because you were questioning whether or not you wanted to come and express that, and I really appreciate that. And Brent, obviously, I know you and Harm well enough. What I do want to say, I'm not defending the video or not defending the video. But what I would like to point out is these conversations are really difficult. And for quite some time, we have not had a reason to have them. And I think that if we are able to listen to ourselves when we're responding to them, that is where those conversations can actually begin to make a difference. We're never gonna, no matter who you are, no matter what the situation is, you're never gonna think exactly like someone else, nor should that be the purpose of any sort of diversity project, right? However, I think that there are a lot of places for us to be able to grow in, specifically with racism. That is just a sort of loaded word that means all kind of things to all kind of people. And if we don't have a proper definition for that, when that word is brought up, everybody has a different response to it. Biases. Those are things that every single one of us have, whether we want to admit it or not. And being able to discuss those things is what's going to help us be aware of them and what's going to help us move past them. So again, I appreciate both of you having the courage to say something about how you felt about, what was shown to the kids. Really appreciate that. And obviously that it deserves a longer conversation.
Any other comments? We are adjourned.